Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chapter 79.
So, the powerful Cao Cao, he's gone. You'd think, okay, maybe a period of quiet mourning. But for his son, Cao Pai, was an immediate power struggle almost, like guaranteed back then.
Oh, absolutely. The second a figure like Cao Cao falls, the question isn't if there's a challenge, it's always who and how. Succession was never a sure thing.
Right.
And for Cao Pai, the alarm bells must have just gone off like crazy when he hears his brother, Cao Zhang, who's this really strong general, known for being good in battle, is heading to the capital with troops.
Yeah, that doesn't exactly sound like he's coming to pay respects, does it?
Not really, no. It immediately signals, potential challenge to Cao Pai's authority. This isn't just brothers squabbling. It could be a fight for the throne itself, kind of hidden under this layer of filial piety.
That idea of respecting your elders, but used politically.
Exactly. Which was a huge deal. But what I find fascinating is, right in the middle of all this tension, one official, Jia Ku, just steps up. That's incredibly brave, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was he risking there?
Oh, immense risk. Jia Kui, his title was Grand Master of Remonstrance, basically, an official allowed to criticize even the ruler.
Okay.
He knew a fight inside the capital. That would be a disaster. So his bravery, walking out there alone to face a general and his army, it's pretty remarkable, and he had to be really careful how he did it.
And his questions are so sharp. Like surgical, he doesn't waste words asking, are you here for the funeral or to seize the throne? Talk about putting someone on the spot.
Yeah, it really cuts to the chase.
Those questions leave zero wiggle room, right?
Yeah.
That's him saying, hey, there are rules here, protocols for succession.
Right.
And then asking about his motives. It forces Cao Zhang to declare himself right then and there, loyalist or rebel. It's a brilliant way to potentially stop a fight before it even starts.
So how does Cao Zhang react to that?
Well, he claims he's only there for the funeral, sends his troops away, and then in this very human kind of moment, he rushes in, sees Cao Pai, and they have this tearful reunion.
Huh. Calculated or genuine, you think?
Probably a bit of both. Declaring loyalty, the emotional hug, these are all smart moves. He saw the pressure. Maybe he genuinely didn't want civil war right then.
Okay.
So the outcome. Cao Zhang gives up his forces, goes back to Yanling, that immediate threat. Gone. So Cao Pai formally takes the throne, changes the era name to Yang Kang, rewards the key guys Jia Shu, Hua Xin, Wang Lang.
The inner circle.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Grand Commandant, Prime Minister, Imperial Censor. And Cao Cao gets his posthumous title King Wu, buried in Jailing. Things seem settled.
But Cao Pai wasn't just about handling the immediate threats. His next move, wow, it shows this chilling, calculated side right from the get-go. He tells General Yu Jin to oversee his father's tomb construction. Sounds like an honor, right?
On the surface, yes, an important job. But knowing Cao Pai, you start to suspect there's something else going on. It wasn't just about building a tomb. It feels more like a psychological setup.
And here's the twist. Yu Jin gets to the tomb and he finds something shocking. Painted on the walls of the chamber, there's this mural. And it shows a very specific and totally humiliating scene.
And the thing is, this wasn't an accident. Cao Pai specifically commissioned this painting. It was totally planned out.
Deliberate.
Yeah, a deliberate act to shame Yu Jin publicly, even in this supposedly solemn private place. It really tells you a lot about Cao Pai's ruthlessness and his calculation.
The mural itself sounds incredibly intense. It shows Guan Yu, the famous enemy general who beat Cao Cao's forces, drowning 7 armies, sitting there all grandly.
Triumphantly, almost.
Yeah. Then you see another general, Peng De, standing defiant, refusing to give in. And then there's Yu Jin, bowing on the ground, begging for his life. It's like a permanent billboard of his worst moment.
His perceived failure and disloyalty. And you have to ask, why go that far? Yu Jin had surrendered to Guan Yu, yes.
Yeah.
He came back to Cao Pai later, but the new emperor clearly felt he hadn't, died loyal, which was a massive failing back then.
Right.
So this mural was Cao Pai's way of branding him. Not just a failure, but a coward. It's pure psychological warfare, designed to just break the man.
And it works, doesn't it? Utterly. Yu Jin just overcome with shame, anger, this public, permanent humiliation. He gets sick and dies soon after. The source even gives us that poem about him.
Yeah, the poem. 30 years of old friendship, pitifully disloyal to Cao in adversity, knowing a person isn't knowing their heart, painting a tiger draws its bones. It's poignant.
It really captures it.
It sums up the tragedy, right? That idea that even long loyalty can just vanish in a crisis, and you don't really know someone's character until they're tested. Cao Pai's move here is just chilling. How power can be used not just to kill rivals, but to crush their spirit.
So, okay, External threats handled, loyalty tested, maybe even enforced through shame. Cao Pai then turns inward. To his own family. His advisor, Hua Xin, this very cunning courtier.
Always seems to be there with advice, doesn't he?
Right. He suggests Cao Pi's other brothers, Cao Ji, the Prince of Linzi, and Cao Zhang, Marquis of Jiaowei, should be punished. Why? For not showing up to their father's funeral. Sounds like a strategic hit job.
Oh, absolutely. Textbook power consolidation. Once you deal with the main threat, like Cao Zhang, you look for potential future challenges. And brothers, especially talented ones, often seen as rivals. Hua Xin is playing a dangerous game, but it's politically smart, targeting them like this.
And the fate of Cao Zhang is just quick and brutal. He hears about the charges, gets terrified, and hangs himself. Cao Pai then, maybe for show, orders this lavish burial, gives him a fancy posthumous title, King Shaohuai. A bit late for Cao Zhang, though.
It's grim, isn't it? Shows the intense fear in the court. Cao Zhang's suicide actually saves Cao Pai the trouble of maybe executing him, which could have caused problems.
Right, avoids the backlash.
Exactly. The fancy burial, the title, that's just politics. Making it look like official sorrow, but still achieving the goal. One less potential rival. It's a cold example of the consequences if you don't fall in line.
But Cao Zhe, he's different. He's this famous poet, a scholar. The messenger sent to Linzi comes back saying Cao Ji and his buddies, the Ding brothers, Ding Yi and Ding Yi, are basically drunk all the time and completely disrespectful. That sounds like more than just bad manners.
Oh, it's way more. It's open defiance. A direct challenge to Cao Pai's legitimacy, his authority. And the Ding brothers, they were respected scholars too.
So them backing Cao Ji means something.
It does. It
Yeah.
suggests there's this group, this faction, that genuinely thought Cao Ji, with all his talent, should have been the heir.
And their words are just, wow, incredibly provocative. They're openly slamming Cao Pai, saying Cao actually wanted Cao Ji to be the heir, lamenting that Cao Ji, with his world-beating intelligence, wasn't picked.
And they don't stop there.
No. They then basically chew out the court officials for not recognizing real talent. That's like throwing gasoline on a fire right in front of the new emperor.
Yeah, that kind of public criticism, especially from respected intellectuals, super dangerous for a new ruler. It directly hits Cao Pai's image, suggests maybe his rule isn't as solid as he wants people to think.
The result is pretty predictable then. Violence. Cao Ji, drunk and angry, tells his guards to beat the messenger up and throw him out.
Not a subtle move.
Not at all. And Cao Pai, obviously, is furious. He sends Yu Shu, his famously loyal and fierce bodyguard, with 3,000 Tiger Guards, the elite troops, to arrest Cao Ji and his friends.
That shows Cao Pai isn't messing around, sending Ju Chu and that many troops. It's a clear message. Zero tolerance for dissent, especially from family. Things have escalated fast here, from political games to outright military action.
And Yu Shu doesn't hold back. He kills the general defending. Linzi brutally marches in, finds Cao Ji and the Ding's drunk, arrests them all. And the Ding brothers, these respected scholars, they're executed. Lots of people apparently mourn them. A very stark, bloody warning.
Absolutely. Executing the Dings, these well-known literary figures, it's tragic, but it's the price of backing the wrong horse in a power struggle. It shows talent, reputation, not necessarily a shield against Cao Pai's ruthlessness.
It sends a message.
A powerful one, yeah. To any other intellectuals or officials thinking of siding with Cao Ji.
Okay, just when you think Cao Pai's grip is total, someone else steps in. A really powerful figure, Empress Dowager Bian, Cao Pai's own mother.
Oh, yes.
She's devastated by Cao Zhang's death, alarmed by Cao Ji's arrest, the executions. She goes straight to Cao Pai. How much power does she actually have in this situation?
Immense power. A mother's intervention, especially the Empress Dowager, that carries huge moral, cultural weight. Even an emperor would think twice about openly defying his mother back then.
Yeah.
It puts a real, if maybe temporary, break on Cao Pai's absolute power.
So she pleads with him, reminds him of Cao Ji's talent, begs him to spare his brother's life, appealing to their shared blood. It's a mother's raw emotional appeal.
And it's a brilliant plea, actually. It hits both the emotional angle, the family bond, deeply ingrained, but also the practical one. She reminds him of Cao Zi's talent, subtly saying, you shouldn't just snuff out brilliance like this, regardless of what he did wrong.
Cao, always the politician, he gives her assurances. Claims he values Cao Zi's talent, only wants to, curb his wild side, not actually harm him.
Sounds good on the surface.
But then, Hua Xin pops up again. Still worried about Cao Zi's talent, he suggests the test. If Cao Ji fails, execute him. If he succeeds, demote him. That way, no one can complain, and Cao Zi agrees.
Hua Xin's suggestion is just Masterful politics. It lets Cao Pai look merciful, like he's giving Cao Zi a chance, but it sets up a situation where Cao Zi is really likely to fail, so he can be gotten rid of fairly.
Or diminished.
Right. And if Cao Zi somehow succeeds, well, his brilliance is proven, but his power is gone. And his supporters. They can't argue because he passed the test. It covers all the bases.
So this sets the stage for the legendary 7-step poem challenge. Cao Zi, surely terrified for his life, is hauled in front of Cao Pai.
Yep.
And Cao Pai challenges him. Make up a poem right here, right now, in the time it takes to walk 7 steps. The pressure must have been insane.
Unbelievable. It's not just a poetry contest. It's perform or die, basically, with his hostile brother and the whole court watching. It really shows Cao Zi's incredible quick thinking and just how high the stakes were.
And the rules are ridiculously strict. The theme is this specific ink painting. 2 oxen fighting near a wall, one falls into a well and dies. And this is the killer. The poem cannot use the words 2 oxen fight under a wall, one falls into a well and dies.
Yeah, designed to be impossible, right?
Totally. It forces incredible creativity, metaphors, talking around the subject. It's tailor-made for failure.
Except maybe not for Cao Zi. This is where his genius really has a chance to shine.
And in just 7 steps, Cao Zi recites this poem. I'll paraphrase the meaning. 2 pieces of meat walk along, bony heads held high. They meet by a mound, charge hard at each other. They're not evenly matched. One piece of meat ends up in the pit. Not because it lacked strength, but its life force just wasn't strong enough yet.
Wow. Wow. The astonishment in the room must have been electric. He didn't just meet the impossible rules. He did it poetically. It's that moment where pure talent just stops ruthless ambition cold. What a display.
But Cao Pai isn't done. He's clearly trying to trip him up. He immediately demands another poem.
Right away.
Instantly. This time the theme is brothers. But again, the catch. You can't use the word brothers.
Oof. Doubling down, trying to find a weakness, and making it personal now, forcing Cao Zi to address their own tragic situation through poetry.
And Cao Zi, again, without missing a beat, recites the famous beanstalk poem. Beans are boiled using beanstalks for fuel. The beans in the pot cry out, "We are born from the same root. Why are you so eager to boil me?"
Ugh, that poem. It's just devastatingly brilliant. So simple, so relatable, cooking beans, but it captures the whole tragedy of brother turning against brother.
Yeah.
The stalks fueling the fire beneath the pot. That's Cao Pai, persecuting Cao Zi, the beans. And that line, "We are born from the same root," it's incredibly powerful. It hits right at their shared blood, the cruelty of it all.
And it gets through to Cao Pai. The text says he's actually moved to tears. Then his mother, Empress Dowager Bian, comes out again and scolds him for being so cruel.
That just shows the poem's power, doesn't it? It's emotional truth. Even the ruthless Cao Pai couldn't completely ignore it. And the Empress showing up again. It seals Cao Zi's moral victory, in a way.
So what happens to him?
Well, Cao Pai, he falls back on state law. He demotes Cao Zi to Marquis of Anxiang, then Cao Zi leaves. So yeah, it's a demotion, a loss of status, but his life is spared.
Because of the poems.
Because of the poems, arguably.
Cao Pai wasted absolutely no time.
No time at all.
Immediately escalating pressure on the Han Emperor, in fact, even more so than his formidable father did.
And the immediate impact of this consolidation is truly fascinating. Cao Pai's move wasn't merely about seizing political control.
No.
It was a clear, unambiguous statement of intent. It sent a very specific signal across the land. A new, more aggressive era had begun.
Ah.
We see this with Sun Quan of Eastern Wu, who, facing this new regime almost immediately, submitted himself as a vassal.
Wow, okay.
This submission, of course, instantly put Liu Bei, referred to here as Han Zongwang, in a deeply reactive and increasingly isolated position.
That immediate shift in power certainly explains Liu Bei's alarm when the news reached him in Chengdu. He's reportedly greatly alarmed.
Understandably.
Gathering his advisors and declaring his intent. First, attack Eastern Wu to avenge the tragic death of Guan Yu.
Right, the sworn brother.
And then march on the Central Plains to eliminate the rebels in Wei. It sounds like a plan born of both grief and ambition, avenge his brother, then reclaim the empire. But is it realistic?
Well, it's definitely ambitious.
Before Liu Bei can even finish laying out this declaration, a dramatic and emotionally charged scene unfolds. Liao Hua rushes forward, weeping openly, and directly blames 2 specific individuals for Guan Yu's tragic downfall, Lu Feng and Meng Da. He demands their immediate execution.
Oh.
You can almost feel the raw emotion in the room. Liu Bei, fueled by this grief and anger, seems ready to act on impulse.
This moment presents a critical choice point. Was Liao Hua genuinely seeking justice for Guan Yu?
Yeah.
Or was this perhaps a calculated opportunity to settle old scores or maybe remove figures he perceived as failing in their duty?
Right.
Regardless of his true motive, Kong Ming, Zhuge Liang, steps in with truly crucial counsel.
Ah, strategist.
He advises against any hasty action, warning that haste causes trouble. Instead, he proposes a subtle two-step maneuver.
Oh, okay.
Outwardly promote Lu Feng and Meng Da to separate prefectures. This would effectively isolate them, you see.
Ah, I see. Make them vulnerable before taking direct action.
Exactly. It's a classic example of political chess.
It's certainly shrewd, but was this move entirely about patience, or was it maybe a calculated gamble, relying on others making missteps like Peng Yang eventually does?
That's a good question. It's likely a bit of both. Calculated patience.
Liu Bei agrees to this cautious approach, and Lu Feng is dispatched to guard Mianzhu. You can sense the undercurrents of tension, right? The calm before an inevitable storm as these pieces are moved into place.
Definitely. The stage is being set.
And this is exactly where the plot really thickens, taking an unexpected turn due to a personal connection. We learned about Peng Yang, a close friend of Meng Da. He gets wind of Kong Ming's separation plan and quickly writes a letter to warn Meng Da. But his messenger is intercepted by Ma Chao.
Ma Chao, yeah.
Who's on patrol outside the South Gate. A twist of fate, indeed, for Peng Yang. His loyalty is about to be tested in a big way.
Ma Chao's actions here are absolutely pivotal. It's a masterclass in uncovering disloyalty, really.
How so?
He doesn't just arrest the messenger. He goes directly to Peng Yang, skillfully feigning his own discontent.
Oh, clever.
He baits Peng Yang by suggesting, the Hanzong Wang treated you so well before, why is he now treating you coldly? This tactic, appealing to perceived grievances. It's a timeless way to expose true intentions and bring simmering resentment right to the surface.
And Peng Yang, tragically, falls right into the trap. Drunk and brimming with bitterness, he curses Liu Bei,
Oh, dear.
calling him an old fool, muddled and perverse. Then, astonishingly, he spills the entire plot.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Ma Chao leads troops, allies with Meng Da externally, while Peng Yang raises troops internally in Sichuan to overthrow Liu Bei,
Wow, that's a colossal misjudgment, fueled by alcohol and resentment.
costing him everything.
The swiftness of justice here is striking. Ma Chao immediately reports the entire conversation, hands over the letter, the messenger, everything to Liu Bei.
Who wastes no time.
No time at all. Peng Yang is imprisoned. And Kong Ming's advice, once again, is chillingly pragmatic.
Let me guess. Execute him.
Pretty much. Though Peng Yang might be a mad scholar, keeping him alive would inevitably cause trouble down the line. That's the assessment.
Practical, if harsh.
Liu Bei, heeding this counsel, orders Peng Yang's execution. It's a stark reminder of the unforgiving nature of the times.
And the ruthless pragmatism often required to maintain power.
Exactly.
So with Peng Yang dead, the news reaches Meng Da, who is understandably greatly alarmed and completely panicking.
Right, his contact is gone.
In this moment of extreme vulnerability, a messenger arrives, transferring Lu Feng to Mianzhu. Meng Da feels exposed, profoundly betrayed. He's lamenting that Liu Bei has forgotten his past contributions, especially after the death of his friend Fa Zhen.
Like I was saying, yeah.
In his distress, he turns to the Shen brothers, Shen Dan and Shen Yi, for advice.
And the Shen brothers present a clear, albeit opportunistic path. Defect two-way.
Jump ship.
Essentially. Shen Dan even assures Meng Da that the Wei King, Cao Pai, will surely use him heavily. This episode vividly highlights the fluid and often, opportunistic nature of alliances during this chaotic period. Meng Da sees a potential way out.
And a path to greater power.
And perhaps greater power, yes. He seizes this opening.
Meng Da immediately writes a rather elaborate letter of resignation and defection to Liu Bei.
It doesn't just leave, he writes a letter.
Right. Then flees with about 50 cavalry to Wei. And this letter, it's a masterclass in political rhetoric.
Oh, I bet.
He uses eloquent historical references, Fan Li, Ziju, Meng Tian, Yu Yi, all to justify his departure and claim the moral high ground.
Portraying himself as the wronged party.
Exactly. Portraying himself as a wronged scholar. He even admonishes Liu Bei, subtly reminding him of the saying, no ill words when breaking ties, no complaints when a subject leaves.
It's an incredible piece of self-serving justification. But this letter isn't merely a resignation.
No.
It's a profound assertion of self-worth and a carefully constructed critique of his former lord, all cloaked in scholarly elegance and historical precedent.
Trying to control the narrative.
Precisely. It reflects a cultural expectation of justifying one's actions, even betrayal, through learned discourse. Liu Bei's reaction, though?
How did he take it?
Furious, calling it, "This fellow betrays me, how dare he play with me through literary trickery." It perfectly encapsulates the blend of personal insult and political anger.
Yeah, I can imagine. Enraged by this eloquent betrayal, Liu Bei wants to launch an immediate attack.
Understandable impulse.
But once again, Kong Ming steps in with a chillingly brilliant, almost ruthless plan. He proposes sending Lu Feng, who is still considered unreliable, remember?
Right, the one blamed earlier.
Yes, sending him to attack Meng Da.
And this is where Kong Ming's strategic genius, however cold, truly shines. He proposes a strategy he terms two tigers fighting.
Two tigers fighting.
Yeah. The primary goal here isn't necessarily a victory for Lu Feng.
Oh.
Kong Ming explicitly states that whether Lu Feng wins or loses, he will surely return to Chengdu, where he can then be eliminated.
Wow. So get rid of both potential problems at once.
Exactly. Two potential harms, the unreliableness of Lu Feng and the immediate threat from Meng Da's defection, dealt with in one fell swoop.
That's cold.
It's a stark testament to Kong Ming's ability to see several steps ahead, and his willingness to make incredibly hard, even morally compromising choices for the kingdom's long-term stability.
Liu Bei, despite the personal cost, Lu Feng is his adopted son.
Adopted son, yeah.
He agrees to this cold calculation. A messenger is dispatched to Lu Feng, instructing him to march on Meng Da. You can feel the tragic irony here.
He's a pawn.
Lu Feng is unknowingly being sent into a no-win situation, a strategic trap orchestrated by his own uncle's chief strategist. It's a cruel twist of fate.
Absolutely cruel.
Meanwhile, Meng Da arrives at Cao Pai's court, having fled Liu Bei. Cao Pai, ever cautious and politically astute, naturally suspects a trick.
As you would.
He asks Meng Da directly, "You've come. Could it be a false surrender?" Meng Da quickly assures him he's simply fleeing Liu Bei's wrath for not saving Guan Yu.
Plausible deniability.
Claiming no other intentions. A tense moment, surely.
Just as Cao Pai is weighing Meng Da's sincerity, news arrives that Lu Feng is indeed approaching with 50,000 troops, challenging Meng Da to battle.
Perfect timing for Cao Pai.
Couldn't be better. He seizes this perfect opportunity for an undeniable loyalty test.
What does he ask?
If you are truly sincere, go to Xiangyang and bring back Lu Feng's head, and then I will believe you.
Oof. Brutal. Force him to burn that bridge completely.
Brutal, but undeniably effective in securing commitment. This is how powerful rulers solidify new alliances, often through blood.
Meng Da, confident, actually boasts he can convince Lu Feng to defect without a fight.
Oh, really? Thinks he can talk him over.
Yeah. Cao Pai, clearly pleased, promotes Meng Da to several high-ranking positions. Palace attendant, general of martial prowess, marquis administrator of Xinjiang.
So big rewards on the table.
It's a powerful move, strategically placing Meng Da to defend key locations with generals Jia Hushang and Xu Huang already there.
Right, reinforcing the area.
Meng Da, living up to his boast, immediately sends a letter to Lu Feng urging him to join Wei.
And here's the crucial question. How will Lu Feng react? Given his dire situation, this offer must seem tempting.
You'd think so. But despite the overwhelming odds and Meng Da's persuasive letter, Lu Feng is absolutely furious.
Furious, not tempted.
No. He tears the letter to pieces, executes the messenger.
Executes the messenger,
Yeah.
wow.
And vehemently curses Meng Da for misleading their uncle-nephew relationship and causing discord between father and son.
So loyalty wins out, even now.
It seems so. This act reveals a deep-seated personal loyalty, perhaps even a tragic naivety to Liu Bei. It tragically overrides any sense of self-preservation.
That loyalty is profound, even if misplaced in this context.
Lu Feng, consumed by this anger and loyalty, charges Meng Da in battle, and in a surprising turn, defeats him.
Really? He wins the initial fight?
In less than 3 bouts, pursues him for 20 li, but it's all part of the larger trap.
Ah, the ambush.
Suddenly, an ambush by Xia Hushang and Xu Huang springs, with Meng Da turning back to fight. Lu Feng is utterly routed.
Overwhelmed.
Flees towards Upyang, a city he thought was friendly territory.
This is where the layers of betrayal become truly stark and heartbreaking. He reaches Upyang.
Only to find the city walls manned by Wei forces.
Oh no.
From the tower, Shen Dan, his former conspirator, shouts, "I have already surrendered to Wei."
Utterly abandoned by everyone.
His former allies have now completely abandoned him. Lu Feng is then forced to flee to Fangling, where Shen Yi and Zhu Wam attack him from behind the city. No escape route.
This cascade of betrayals leaves him utterly isolated. Nowhere left to turn.
Desperate, with only about 100 cavalry left, Lu Feng flees back to Chengdu.
Back to Liu Bei.
He throws himself before Liu Bei, weeping, trying to explain that he didn't save Guan Yu because Meng Da had stopped him. He's pleading for his life.
Trying to justify his inaction in the face of impossible choices.
Liu Bei's response, however, is swift and harsh. He calls Lu Feng a disgraceful son.
Ouch.
And vehemently questions how he could possibly listen to a slanderous villain like Meng Da. He orders Lu Feng's immediate execution.
Just like that. A tragic end for such a complex character, caught between duty, betrayal, a larger political game.
Where individual lives are just pawns.
Exactly. However, our source reveals a poignant detail. Liu Bei later felt considerable regret.
Regret? Why?
Upon hearing how Lu Feng had bravely rejected Meng Da's offer and executed his messenger, demonstrating a loyalty that was, well, ultimately misunderstood or dismissed too quickly.
Ah, the tragic irony again.
This regret, coupled with his deep grief for Guan Yu, leads him to fall gravely ill and halt all military movements. It's a significant and somber turning point for his kingdom.
While Liu Bei's realm is just embroiled in internal strife and personal tragedy, Cao Pai is systematically consolidating his power.
Cold, clear focus.
He promotes loyal officials, tours Qiao County like a true emperor, pays respects to his ancestors, deliberately mimicking the triumphant return of Han Gesu to Pei.
Skillfully invoking imperial precedent, building that legitimacy.
And this is where we see the masterful manipulation of the mandate of heaven come into play.
Right. The omens.
The sudden appearance of auspicious omens, a phoenix in Shi County, a quillin in Linzi, a yellow dragon in Yetcheng.
All very convenient.
They're immediately and strategically interpreted by Cao Pai's officials, Li Fu and Zhu Zi, as clear signs that Wei is destined to replace Han.
These weren't just random occurrences, were they? They were powerful propaganda tools, engineered or spun to craft public consent for a monumental regime change.
It's a prime example of how ideology is weaponized during periods of profound political transition.
Absolutely.
So with these divine affirmations now firmly in place, a large group of over 40 high-ranking officials, including big names like Hua Xin and Jie Shu,
Major figures.
they march directly to the Han Emperor Xin's inner palace. Their purpose is chillingly clear. Request his abdication.
To Cao Pai.
To Cao Pai. The Han dynasty, reigning for centuries, is on the absolute precipice of its end. Replaced not by conquest on the battlefield, but by a carefully orchestrated, seemingly peaceful transfer of power.
Backed by divine will.
Exactly. And our source leaves us right there, on that cliffhanger, with immense pressure on the emperor to respond.
What a place to pause.